Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah. All right. We are live on YouTube. We are live on YouTube. How's everyone doing today? How's it going? If you're here live, it is a beautiful Saturday evening here in Redwood City, California, where I live. It's about 82 degrees. A very, very slight breeze, about 1 to 2 miles per hour. The sun is beginning to go down. It's about to set. And I'm out and about on another walk. Another walk with purpose, episode number 790. More on the episode number and future episode numbers in a little bit here. And I think they're having that pub in the park event here today. So I'm only going to do 2 laps because we're running out of time, running out of daylight. But as we get to the other side of the park, you might hear a little bit of noise because I believe it's the pub in the park event. Don and I, we're going to go to that. There's one more next month. I hope we can make the one next month. We've just been very, very tired cleaning. We've been doing a lot of organizing and deep cleaning around the house. And that's part of what inspired this topic here today, because it's very, very important. So we missed the pub in the park again this month, but hopefully we can make the final one of the summer in September, and maybe even broadcast some of it live for you folks out here on our YouTube channels. Anyway, I hope you've all had a great past few days. I took the past few days off. I was just exhausted. There's a lot going on, and I simply ran out of gas. And I have a lot of energy, even at 50 years old. I have a lot of energy, but I've been busting my butt, and so is Don. We're just trying to get everything as clean and organized as possible. And there's some guy in the Prius that just stopped and looked at me. Maybe he thought I was going to cross the street. All of a sudden, no, he's, I guess, trying to drop someone off. Anyway. I dropped off a friend that lives over here. Okay. Give me a second here. All right. Anyway. Yeah, there's been a lot going on. And I was doing some deep cleaning with the bigger Bissell. Every month and a half to 2 months or so. It just depends how long they stay clean for. Between foot traffic and the dogs and all that. We've got these big, deep plush area rugs that require cleaning with a deep cleaner like a Bissell. And like I mentioned before in the past, I've got 2 Bissells. The Bissell Pet Hydro Steam carpet cleaner, the deep pile carpet cleaner. And then recently I also got the Bissell Crosswave Hydro Steam Plus which is for smaller low pile area rugs and for hardwood floors, tile, etc. Right? So, I did both big rugs the other day, and then today I was working on the smaller rugs and got half of the place clean with the smaller Bissell. Now I'm gonna go back home and have some dinner with Dawn after this, and then take a little nap, and then get up and do the rest of the place. So I guess I'm already kind of getting into today's topic, which is a huge part of success is being clean and organized. One more time, a huge part of success is being clean and organized. Episode number 790 of Walking with Purpose Live. Before we get into the topic here today, we already kind of got into it, started getting into it, but before we go any further, I just wanted to mention that we're already at episode. Hey, Tia, how are you doing? Welcome to the show. Yeah, sorry, Tia. Sorry that meeting didn't happen earlier. Dawn and I have been cleaning up around the house, and we've just been exhausted. And it caught up to Dawn, too. So the ladies were supposed to have a conference call today. Some of the ladies here at the GNA, the Genuine Networking Association, or GNA for short. And Dawn was just tired. I was tired. So, unfortunately, we had to cancel the conference call. And we sincerely and wholeheartedly apologize for that, Tia and Sandra and Queen Helen Casey that are a part of that group. By the way, there may be a new member of that group coming soon. And I'll talk with you ladies more about that behind the scenes. I'm going to potentially be interviewing this person pre-recorded this coming Monday. I'll share more about that once I get more information. We're going to start the GNA Positivity Podcast, episode number 1, pre-recorded on the main channel. So that is that. Oh, by the way, for those of you that are new here, or if this is your first time that we've met, please allow me to introduce myself. My name is Elias Melas, but you can call me Eli for short. And I am the president and founder of the Genuine Networking Association, or GNA for short. What we primarily do is teach people and help people with their personal development and self-improvement. We do that primarily by sharing our stories. Myself and my girlfriend Dawn, that primarily run our 2 channels out here, which is this one. It's GNA2, Genuine Live Personal Development. This is our live streaming channel, and our main channel is called GNA, Genuine Personal Development, where we put our pre-recorded content on, and sometimes we do some live streams over there. I have an update on that I'm going to share in a second as well regarding the main channel. I made a community posting on it the other day, so just a lot of updates, a lot of stuff going on. And I'm still a little tired, so don't mind me. And I also think I'm maybe a little bit under the weather. I think I'm fighting a little cold. I took my temperature, and it was like 97.5, 97.6, 98.5. I believe, is normal. So I'm running a little bit, a little bit cold. The engine's running a little bit cold, so forgive me. You know what I'm saying? But let's see here. Yeah, so sorry, Tia says, no worries. We can reschedule it for tomorrow or this week. If Dawn has no appointments, we try to accommodate Dawn's schedule. Well, we appreciate that, Tia. We really do. We really, really do. And yeah, I'm sorry myself for not being around the last couple of days to do some shows. I know how important these shows are to many people. And I needed a few days off. I needed to rest. I almost took tonight off too, but I'm like, I got to get out there and get a walk in. Even though, I've been getting my exercise with the work that I've been doing. I'll get more into that as part of the topic here in a few. But it's just not the same thing. It's not the same thing getting out and taking a walk at the park and talking with the great people over here at the Genuine Networking Association, or GNA for short. But thank you, Tia. Thank you so much for your understanding and your kindness. Much love from Dawn and myself. So yeah, I'll let Dawn know when I go home if she wants to do that call with you ladies tomorrow. I'm sure she'll be rested up by then. We've just been doing so much spring cleaning in the summer, and we're reorganizing everything. And I'm gonna share more of my thoughts regarding how, your success at anything is a huge part of your success regarding anything, which is what I'm trying to say, is based on, cleanliness and organization, being clean and organized. Because I used to not be clean and organized. I used to be, in my younger days, I was pretty much, I wouldn't go as far as say I was a filthy slob, but I was kind of a slob. I was kind of like disorganized. And just would throw stuff everywhere, and when I needed something for a specific task, I couldn't find it. If you're looking for a certain pen, or if you're looking, for a certain whatever you're looking for, if you're trying to replace a part of one of your phones, or if you have vacuum cleaners that have parts that need to be replaced, or a computer, or whatever, right? If you're disorganized, and let's say first of all, you have to have spare parts. We'll talk about that too. But if you're disorganized and you can't find your spare parts, you're not going to get the, repair done. And, you may be looking for those parts for a while, wasting more time and more energy. If you get yourself organized and you know exactly where everything is at, all you have to do is go right to it. Oh, my belt on my vacuum snapped. Let's see, which one is it? Oh, open it up. It's the main belt. Okay, I've got 6 backups of those in this drawer here. Go right to it. There it is. Take it out, do the repair. 15, 20 minutes later, you're back in business. You didn't waste too much energy, right? But let's say you bought those spare parts and you just threw them somewhere, right? And then you forgot about where you threw those, those parts, right? Part of being organized. There are a lot of people walking. I think it was the Oh, there's something going on over here at this person's house, like a fiesta or something. These people are having a big fiesta at a house that's adjacent to the sidewalk to the park. So it's making things kind of complicated to navigate today. It is what it is. You know, it's really interesting. This is, with the best intentions, because we're very multicultural here in California, but primarily, half of our population is Hispanic. And from what I noticed, and I don't know what it is, but the Hispanic people love to have their events at the park and at the park and rec buildings. And I'm not trying to stereotype or anything. I've been trying to figure out why is that. Is it because it's just cheaper, or because I don't see a lot of non-Hispanic people running parties here? And that house over there that was running that party right on that stems out of their driveway into the street by the park. They were Hispanic people, so it's just interesting how certain cultures party and run special events than others. Like, I'm the kind of guy that I would prefer to have an event in a nice hotel, and I know it's going to cost a lot more money, but I think there are a lot more proper places and a little more eloquent type of places. But I get it, not everyone has the budget to do so, right? It's just interesting, food for thought. Probably easier for the capacity. There's not a whole capacity. There was a big tent in that person's driveway. All right, there's a big party happening here with a DJ on the inside. I'm gonna go around the outside of the park. A lot of events happening here today. Oh, man. Also, school is back in session here in Redwood City on August 12th. We're starting to see signs in all the school zones that are saying 15 miles per hour while school's in session or something like that. The speed limit is normally 25, but when children are present, or in this case, I think they're saying, when school's in session, the speed limit is 15. All right. Just waiting for those kids to walk on by. Oh, by the way, we've also had very high humidity here lately, and I can't stand humidity. Yesterday, the humidity was 100%. I think today it's like 85 or 90. It's just very, very high. It just makes it feel hotter and more groggy than it is, and that's probably been affecting myself and Dawn as well. High humidity. Oh man, it's just a horrible, horrible thing. I would prefer a dry heat, Um, but yeah, oh, what was I going to say? Regarding the main channel, typically I only do pre-recorded videos now, but I made a community posting a few days back that effective immediately and probably for the next month or maybe even month and a half or 2 months, I'm going to be doing the in-studio live streams on the main channel, GNA, Genuine Personal Development. And the reason is because, if you're inactive for more than 6 months on a monetized YouTube channel, YouTube can and will remove you from the partner program. It's been almost 4 months since I've done any videos on there. Now, they say they also include community postings. That resets that clock. And I've made community postings, over the last month or so, but I just don't want to risk it. So I'm going to do the in-studio streams on the main channel, GNA, Genuine Personal Development, which was formerly known as Coach Elias Melas. So if you're not subscribed to that channel, please go below in the description or go to youtube.com/@ GNA Personal Development. One more time, youtube.com/@ GNA Personal Development. Subscribe, bang the bell, select the notifications, and you won't miss anything. And that's the same channel where the pre-recorded podcasts will go on. And hopefully we're going to have our first one this coming week. I've been communicating with someone behind the scenes, and they told me they're available on Mondays. So I'm going to see if they want to do their interview podcast on Monday, and then more than likely I'll end up releasing it either later on that day or by the next day at the latest. Probably the next day. I'll probably end up recording these podcasts on Mondays, usually. If people are not available on Mondays, then it'll be a different day. But I'm going to try to record them on Mondays and release them Mondays or Tuesdays. There's going to be some set schedule regarding these podcasts. We're going to try to more so uniform things and, make things consistent. So that way people know when things are being released. So anyway. So let's talk about, how your success is largely based, it's hugely based on, how clean and organized you are. Cleanliness and organization are two of the most important aspects to success. And that works the same ways both personally and professionally. So if we're going to talk about professionally, I'm going to get to that first because that's an obvious one. People typically more so struggle with the personal aspects of being clean and organized, right? Professionally, people realize, hey, if you have a job, especially if you're working for somebody else, and you go to work and you're not showered and clean and wearing decent clothing, right? First of all, they're either not going to hire you if you don't show up looking good and clean and all, right? And smelling good, right? But even if they hire you and then you just start slacking off and you smell horrible and you dress horribly, they're going to get rid of you, right? Part of being successful professionally is being clean and taking care of yourself, grooming yourself, shaving, showering, using deodorant, using cologne, wearing decent clothing, wearing decent shoes, right? Don't wear old raggedy shoes because number one, they don't look good. Number two, they're probably going to affect your footing because after a while when shoes wear down, their padding wears down, which affects the bottom of your feet. Keeping your feet padded, especially if you're walking around a lot at work, right, is important to the health of your feet, right? Being organized at work, let's say you have a cubicle, right? Have a cup for your pens. Have a drawer where maybe you have another tray in there where you have scissors and staples and paper clips and all that stuff. And notepads, maybe some sticky notes known as Post-its, right? All the stuff that you need to run your business, or if you're working for somebody else to do your job in the professional world, all the stuff you need needs to be organized. You need to be able to find it at a moment's notice should you need it at that moment, right? Example, let's say all of a sudden your supervisor walks in and asks you for a sticky pad or asks you for a notepad or asks you to take out a notepad and take notes on something they want done. You should be able to open up that particular drawer within your desk and pull one out and then grab a pen from your pen cup at the top of your desk. Some people like to have pens also in the top sliding door of most desks where there's a tray with pens and other stuff, right? However you do it, you should be able to grab what you need at a moment's notice and know exactly where it's at. And that all boils down to being organized, right? Being clean and organized, right? They go hand in hand. Being clean and organized goes hand in hand because, first of all, when I say being clean, you want to dust your area, make sure there's no dust. Make sure that there's nothing sticky around your desk from a spilled drink or food, barbecue sauce. People nowadays are eating and drinking at their business desks, right? And that's more prone to making a mess, right? And making things not clean and not sanitary, right? So in that case, you may want to have, some Clorox bleach wet wipes around. There are many different types of wipes that you can get, but Clorox is one of the best ones. Have those around. Also, another good idea is to have a roll of paper towels in your desk. And if your company doesn't provide them, you can get them at Costco pretty cheap. You get the big 12-pack of paper towels, right? Then I'd probably also have a couple of bigger rags that you can use to clean messes and stuff. And then once they get soiled or they're used, you can take them home and throw them in the washing machine and reuse them, right? And the more you reuse those, the more paper towels you save, right? So those are some tips there regarding how to be organized professionally. If you're an entrepreneur, instead of your desk being, at some other building, that you're working a W-2 job at, or you might be even working a salary job. The difference is the desk is at your house or your apartment, and you're your own boss. But the same principles still apply. My desk is very organized. I've got everything I need. Actually, I do have two desks. One of them is now Don's. There's a desk that's technically in the living room on the corner because we have a big living room. But my desk now, there's a secondary desk. That's my desk now. It's the same desk that I use to broadcast in-studio live streams from. And between the area surrounding Don's desk, which used to be my original desk, and my newer desk in the YouTube studio office, I've got everything I need. I've got excess paper, paper clips, staplers, staple removers. I've got a printer and scanner. I got everything organized, and I know exactly where everything is. Got plenty of pens, right? Everything that I need professionally. And even though I work from home, and things that I do for business are typically done by phone and email, right? You never know when you're going to have to print out a document. You never know. So, I'm still prepared with the old school way. There's always, in my opinion, there's always going to be a need to have a scanner and a printer, but many people don't even have those. I suggest going out and getting a cheap scanner and printer. You can get an all-in-one. You can get an all-in-one for under $200. That's decent nowadays, which is, print, copy, scan, fax. Now, most people don't really fax anymore, but there are some cases where, people still prefer to be faxed. So I've got a fax machine too, so very rarely use it, but if I need to, I can. So that's pretty much my advice for professional organization. Now, as far as personal organization, okay, some of this will bleed over into the professional side of things, because if you don't take care of yourself personally, it's going to bleed over into you not taking care of yourself professionally. Because part of being successful in the professional world, whether you're working for somebody else or you're self-employed like myself, okay, an entrepreneur, is taking care of yourself and looking good, right? Looking good, being as healthy and fit as possible, right? Grooming yourself regularly, like I said earlier, grooming yourself regularly, showering regularly, daily, okay? Bathing every now and then. Out here. Give me a second here. There was a lady that's running a vendor cart that was just throwing some stuff out. So I didn't want to talk too loud while passing her. So yeah, like I said, showering regularly, grooming yourself. Now, I'm not going to lie. I mean, over the last few months, I've just had so much going on that I've let my beard grow to grizzly bear status. Grizzly bear status? Now, it didn't look absolutely horrible, but it wasn't up to my standard. My standard, even right now, it's just about time to trim it again. It's been almost 2 weeks. I like to keep it trim. And even though I'm 50 years old and I've got some gray, obviously at 50 you're going to have some damn gray. I use it just for men. I want to look good. I don't care how old I am. I'm 50 years old. If I can look 10 years, 15 years younger by keeping my beard trim and using just for men to cover the gray, right? And walking every day, staying healthy and fit makes me look younger. Now, here's the thing. I'm not saying this to show off. I'm saying that this is what's going to allow you to reach success personally and also professionally, but we're talking personally now, right? When I tell people I'm 50 years old, none of them believe it. Most people think I'm in my late 30s or early 40s, right? And the sad thing is this, and I'm not saying this to be mean, it's the truth. I'm saying this to motivate and inspire you folks to take better care of yourselves, right? There are people younger than me that look much older than me. There are people in their late 30s that look older than me. I'm 50 years old and there are people in their late 30s that look like they're 55. And here's the thing. When you look that much older than your age, it's a telltale sign that you're not taking care of yourself as best as possible. You're neglecting yourself. And when you neglect yourself from self-care, right? How do you think that's going to affect you from accomplishing what you want personally and professionally? Now, we're talking about personally now. Let's take guys, for example, trying to get a date with a woman, right? There are many men that I've encountered in my life that have asked me, hey, Eli, you never have problems getting a girlfriend and getting women to date you and this and that. What's your secret? What's the secret? Well, first of all, dude, your beard is longer than Jesus' beard, right? And you're not Jesus. You're not being crucified on the cross. No disrespect intended to the good Lord, okay? First of all, you got to groom your beard. You got to trim your beard, right? Second of all, your secondhand clothing, right, is not the most appealing to most women because women want to be with a man that radiates success. Why would any woman want to be with an unsuccessful man, right? Right? So if you want to attract a good, decent woman, you've got to do what it takes to exude attractive behaviors and qualities, right? So a lot of these guys wonder why they can't get a woman, right? Well, I can't afford to get better clothing like you, Eli. Well, then you got to strive harder to make more money and be able to afford it. Because here's the thing. Listen, I'm not trying to be disrespectful to people that are poor and can't afford nice clothing, but if you're not financially stable enough to at least have some decent clothing, then you need to more so focus on bettering yourself career-wise and financially before even putting yourself out there, okay? Because part of your success in being able to get a good woman in your life, or on the flip side, if you're a woman and you want to get a good guy in your life, part of success in making that happen is financial success and being successful at your job. Because the way that you dress, the clothes you wear, your hygiene, keeping yourself groomed and all that, the way that you show up physically says a lot about the kind of person you are. It says a lot about all aspects of your life. Your personality, how successful you are at work, right? Because successful people in the workforce are not going to dress and look shitty. They're not. They're just not. So if you're, you know, not groomed and wearing shitty second or third hand clothing, and then you're wondering, guys, why women aren't giving you the time of day, there's your answer. And if you want to come back and say, well, if they don't want to accept me for who I am, then screw them. Well, hey, then you might be lonely for quite a long time. Now, you might get lucky and find a woman that's similar to you. And if you're that fortunate to find one that's similar to you and wears second and third hand clothing and doesn't take as good care of herself, doesn't groom herself like yourself, you might find someone, but I mean, is that going to be appealing to you? Because the funny thing is, there's a lot of men, they're very scruffy and unattractive, but they want the woman to be looking perfect, wearing the perfect clothing and all that. You guys are big hypocrites. Like attracts like. If you want a decent, attractive woman that's in shape, that wears nice clothing and smells good, you got to do the same thing for yourself on the flip side. I mean, come on. Tia says, some is hereditary, but there are so many techniques to help if it bothers you. Many are fortunate to grow old gracefully. Yeah, I mean, Tia, here's the thing. As we get into our 40s and then even our 50s, right? I can speak on the 40s and 50s because I've just finished my 40s and entered my 50s, okay? As we get into our 40s and 50s, we're going to pass by that party again. As we get into our 40s and 50s, we're going to start to age more. Give me a second, folks, because I'm passing by the Fiesta right now. I'll show you the Fiesta on the way back. Oh, we'll just see it from my back camera. So you can see it right there. All right. I think we're good now. I'm still going to walk outside instead of cutting through the park because there's still that party going on over there. There's a lot of loud copyrighted music. I don't want to go through that area. Yeah, like I was going to say, Tia. Like I was going to say, we all start to age, right? But some people like to say some people age more gracefully than others, right? I'm sure you've heard people say, okay, some people age more gracefully than others. Well, that's kind of true, but not totally true because everyone has the same opportunities to age gracefully. It's up to you how you take care of yourself. If you keep yourself in decent shape, even as you get into your 50s, look, here's the thing. I don't really look much different than I did in my late 30s or early to mid or throughout my 40s. I'm 50 years old. I don't really look much different at all. I've been trying to put on a little more mass and stuff, which I have put on a little more mass and a little more muscle. I was a little bit too skinny in my early 40s. Was doing a lot of hiking stuff back then, and There were times where I've been a bit too skinny, but right now I've been more so kind of trying to bulk up a little bit, right? Oh, I remember I was going to cut around because of the music over there. But I don't look a whole lot different in my early 50s than I did in my 30s or even my, you know, 40s and early 50s. Give me a second here. Oh, kids are riding their bikes on the sidewalk. The cool thing is I have videos out on YouTube going back to 2009. So if we're looking at 2009, 15 years ago, I got videos of me since I was 35. So you can compare me from 35 to 50 by going to my original Elias Melas channel, youtube.com/eliasmelas, or youtube.com/user/Elias Melas. I've got one of the original user accounts. That's an older account. Or the original January Networking Association GNA channel from 2015 that has some networking stuff on it. You can see me in there. That's from 2015. That's basically 9 years ago. So, 9 years ago I was 41? You can see there. But the best thing to do is go to the Elias Melas channel. I even did my insurance video in there. You can see, like, I was too skinny at that point for a little while, and I've been working on putting on some mass. Been doing some lifting and stuff too. So that's the only difference you're going to see. But my face and everything looks the same. My beard and all that looks the same. I had a goatee initially, and then I switched from the goatee to adding a full beard. I think as you get older, I think beards are more so in for men nowadays than goatees are out. Goatees were in for a while. Now it's about the beard. Beards typically, when goatees were in, people that had beards were just men over 40, right? But now I'm seeing men in their 20s and 30s have beards. Beards are in. As long as you take care of them and you manage them. You don't let them get out of control. But personally, being organized, even when it comes to your health, like being organized in your bathroom, like Dawn and I just got a bunch of little mini storage containers for our bathroom sink, the countertop on there. So there really wasn't a whole lot of clutter initially, but it just looks even cleaner than it did now. And I also we have a couple of racks and a couple of little mini drawer sets where Dawn and I together organized over the last several days her beauty products, because she has a lot of beauty products, like makeup and lipstick and just a ton of different beauty products. And Dawn is a part of this company that sends her like hundreds of dollars worth of product each month to sample. It's the actual real thing, not just a sample size. They give you the real thing. For $35, you get a couple $100 worth of product. So she's got a lot of stuff. And that's what keeps her, looking good and feeling good and stuff like that. But because we've organized it, now when she needs it, she can go right to it, right? Same thing with myself. I know where my razor is at. I know where my Shaving cream is at. Okay. Sometimes, you know, I get constipated and I need to use a laxative or a saline enema. I know where my laxatives are at. There's a drawer for that. I know where my saline enemas are at. Right? I don't have to look for anything. I go right to it. I'm organized. And that allows me to better take care of myself. Give me a second here. We're about to finish the second lap here. Okay. All right. All right, so another thing. Don and I just bought, it was like 35 bucks. We bought a little 12 drawer cubby hole set that has little doors in the front. And what we're doing is we're trying to get all clutter off the floor. We're trying to get as much off the floor of the house as possible. And the way that you do that, here's a tip that I'm sure some people know, but many of you may not know. Is that when you buy, I'm waiting for these people to cross up there. When you buy like storage shelves, what happens is they go up, right? You utilize space from the ground up instead of putting a lot of stuff all over the floor, right? Now, there's no way you can utilize space from the ground up unless you have a shelving unit stacked, the shelves stacked one on top of the other, right? So that's what Don and I have been doing. We've been getting what we need from Amazon. Listen, Amazon's the best because they get stuff from China, right? I mean, you're getting stuff on Amazon for 35 bucks that made in the U.S., sold in the U.S. store here would cost you 100 bucks, 120 bucks, right? So the little unit that Don and I got would probably cost 80 to 100 bucks in one of the local stores here. But we got it for 35 bucks. Go to Amazon, get all your shelving needs and all that, and build these shelves and remove the clutter off your ground and put them on these shelves or in these cubbies or whatever, right? Utilize your space from the ground up. Real simple to do. It takes a little effort. You got to build these things. It took me 3 hours to build that thing last night because it was pretty meticulous. Some of them are easier than others, but it's worth putting in the effort to build it because once you built it, you've got, a lot more. You've got a better way to utilize your space and, get the clutter off your floor. And here's the thing. There's nothing more attractive when someone walks into your house or apartment and there's no clutter around. There's nothing more attractive than, being able to walk in and just see a few couches and a coffee table and a TV and everything just clean and organized, right? Like I said earlier, I'm the kind of person that likes to buy a lot of spare parts for anything that I use regularly, like my Dyson vacuum cleaners that, need belt replacement every now and then, cell phone parts, whatever, right? Parts for my selfie stick, my iPhone that I need to run for this show, extra microphones, whatever. I'm the kind of person that thinks ahead proactively and stocks up on parts that I know are going to wear down at some point. So that way, if they just go out on me on any given day, I don't have to go to the store or have to wait to order them, or have to wait a few days to put them on order and wait a few days for them to show up, right? I have backup stock, right? And what I do is I take those parts and I organize them. I have a part of the house in the closet where I have all my backup audio and video equipment, right? In the closet, I also have a medicine area where I have a lot of backup, NyQuil, DayQuil, and other essentials that, Don and I need for, medical purposes, right? And they're all organized. And whenever we need one of those products, we grab one, we share it, and when that runs out and one of us needs to replace it, we know where to go get the replacement. And then what we do is, every time that we go in the closet to get a replacement, we look to see, okay, we only have one or two more of these left. Let's get on the Amazon or Target or Walgreens or CVS, because we order from different places. Some places sometimes have better deals than others. Let's get on there and place an order now and replenish our stock, right? That's part of being organized, is knowing what you have and what you need to make it through your days, and always having it readily available by keeping backups on hand, in your own place. Think of it like being a manager at a store, and if you're out of stock, you're out of business. Got to keep your shelves stocked, right? It's the same concept, but it's for your own personal use. What most people do is, if they're not feeling well, they'll wait to go and buy, NyQuil and DayQuil when they're already feeling shitty. The last fucking thing I want to do is go to the store when I'm feeling shitty to get NyQuil and DayQuil. But if I have it on hand, I go to my bathroom or my closet, wherever I have it. Right? I have it in the bathroom, the one that's currently being used. If I run out, the backup supply's in the closet. I know where it's at. I don't have to leave my house feeling like shit. The last thing you want to do is leave your house or apartment when you're feeling like shit to go get NyQuil and DayQuil. How about be proactive, right? And then have it organized, right? I've got all my vacuum belts organized. I've got vacuum belts for my Dysons that require vacuum belts to be replaced every so often. I've got a Dyson also, a cordless Dyson that Don and I use to vacuum. The Dysons, the Bissels are for deep carpet cleaning, regular low pile carpet cleaning, and hardwood floors, and they work differently. They're more of a wet type of vacuum, right? The Dyson's more for dry cleaning, regular usage every day, every other day. If you have pets, you got to vacuum at least every other day. If you have, if you spill some debris or something, you can easily pick it up with the vacuum. But I have spare parts for my Dyson because it wears down. I use it. So when you have dogs, if you have dogs, you're going to be cleaning almost every day. And that's going to wear down your vacuums to the point of where you're going to need to have spare parts on hand. Find out the spare parts that your vacuum needs and have them on hand. I have mine on hand, and I know exactly where they're at. So if one of the parts breaks or wears down, I go right to it. There it is. Oh, okay. So I'm replacing one. I have two others left. I don't have to order another. If I replace it again and I only have one left, I may say, okay, this one's being replaced more often. It's wearing down more often. I'm getting low. I need to replenish this. Go and reorder it. And then if you have an older vacuum like myself or an older item, older items at some point are going to be much more difficult to find spare parts. We all know this, right? So what you want to do, if you have an older piece of equipment, I have a Dyson V6. They make like the V18 now, or V19 or V20 or whatever. My Dyson's like probably over 10 years old. I've had it for like 7 years. I got it refurbished on Amazon for like $220. It was a good, or like $208 actually, $600 vacuum. But it works. It worked perfectly. It was refurbished by Dyson, and it's getting harder and harder to find parts for it. So when I do find the parts, the parts that I need to replace more often, I've got like 6 replacements. I've also got a backup charger because sometimes the chargers wear out, and eventually you're not going to be able to find the charger. So, you know, take all that into consideration when you're organizing yourself, right? When you're cleaning and organizing, take that into consideration that in order to stay clean and organized, you got to have the right tools to do that. And in order to, maintain those tools so, they don't stop functioning and then you can't clean and organize as easily, you got to make sure you have spare parts on hand. Be a little more proactive in life, folks. The better that, see, here's the thing. People tend to, live in the moment and they don't think about the future. They don't think ahead. You got to think ahead to weather all storms, okay? You got to think ahead. And if you think ahead, you plan ahead, and you stock things up like I do, like Donna and I do, and you have spare parts on hand, right? And you're more proactive than reactive, your personal life is going to be amazing. And then it's going to also make your business life even more amazing because, again, like I said, your personal and business life pretty much go hand in hand because the way that you look when you go on a date is the same way you're going to look at work, right? You're the same size, whether you're thin, medium, or larger, heavier set, right? Okay. The quality of clothing you wear are going to be the same, right? Okay. So think about it. If you dress nice personally when you go on dates with people, right? You're gonna have a better chance of finding that special person and then it working out, right? Okay. In the business world, if you're dressing nice in the personal world already, you're already going to know that, hey, it's the same thing in the business world. You might just change it up a little bit, wear something that's a little bit more business professional or business casual or business sporty like we have nowadays. But if you know how to dress nice and you have decent, nice clothing personally, it's gonna bleed over into the professional world. You're gonna treat it the same way. You know, I wear a lot of sporty outfits, but I wear quality sporty outfits like Under Armour, Champion, Adidas, right? But in the professional world, if I have to go out somewhere, I had some things to take care of last year. I had plenty of outfits, but I bought a nice new, navy blue dressy pants, Dockers. And I also got a nice gray Tommy Hilfiger sports shirt, but it's also very business casual, right? Okay. If you know how to dress nice for personal reasons, you will know how to dress nice in the business world. And the better you take care of yourself, the more decent people you're going to attract in your life and the more successful you're going to be personally and professionally. We're at 60, is that 64 minutes? Yeah, an hour and 4 minutes. Folks, please smash the thumbs up and please share this out. All right, I got to get going. I have a little more cleaning to do. Dawn and I are hoping to do a show at some point soon. It's just her and I have both been extremely exhausted. But Dawn is doing well. Dawn talks with Tia regularly, okay? And with Sandra and with Queen, they communicate behind the scenes regularly. Dawn is doing well. It's just that, it's been even exhausting for me to do a show. I took the last 2 days off myself. So, no, Dawn wants to come back and do some shows, but, she's just resting up a little bit more. And then she's also got some other medical things that she's been dealing with lately, too. And it was like the last couple weeks, we've had just a bunch of appointments to go to medically for Dawn, and there's been some other medical things to deal with. So she just wanted me to let you folks know that everything is fine. She's doing well, and she hopes to come back soon. I don't know. We'll see. Maybe her and I might be up to doing a show tomorrow. Take care, everyone. Thanks, Eli. You're welcome, Tia. Well, with that being said, have a great one, everyone. Take care, and as always, be good to each other. See you all soon.